We got an absolute massive report that's coming out here where Jeanie Buss, the president of the Los Angeles Lakers, officially put it out there in an interview that Anthony Davis was not happy with the Los Angeles Lakers. We're going to talk about this, plus Luka apparently is very, very happy with the Los Angeles Lakers, that's according to NBA insider Shams Charania. More than that, Jared Vanderbilt has some interesting things to say, and the Lakers have now won 6 straight games, and they look like the hottest team in the NBA, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video. I'm excited for this one, man. Let's just get right into it. So Jeanie Buss was doing an interview with NPR, and she dropped a very interesting nugget, talking a little bit about Anthony Davis, right? Jeanie Buss put it out there saying, we've lost 3 years in a row to the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, and we really didn't have anything that was going to look different going to the playoffs again this year. Anthony Davis was complaining about where he was being played, and he wasn't happy. So I think this was a positive for both teams. They got what they were looking for, and we got what we were looking for. This is a very, very interesting report that's coming out because I don't know if Jeanie Buss slipped up in what she had to say in this one. But the fact that she's saying that Anthony Davis was complaining, right, to me right away means that is it possible that Anthony Davis had told the Los Angeles Lakers front office that, hey, I'd like to be moved? Is it possible that the Lakers were shopping Anthony Davis before that trade ultimately ended up happening? Maybe the Mavericks caught wind that the Lakers were looking to trade Anthony and they were also trying to potentially trade Luka Doncic. We don't really know, right? But there are a lot of people that are kind of talking about the speculation aspect of this. This doesn't really look good, however you think about it. At least for Anthony Davis, the fact that he was complaining about where he was playing. I do understand for Anthony Davis, so I'll be the first to tell you guys, Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Anthony Davis, phenomenal basketball player. And, he helped the Lakers win a chip. Right, he was a huge piece in that, and he was a huge piece over the last couple of years, the Lakers making the playoffs. And I think when you really think about where the Lakers were this year, Jeanie Buss makes a really, really solid point, which is the Lakers didn't change anything over the past couple of years, right? Every year they've lost and haven't been able to, get past the Nuggets. What change have the Lakers made going into this year that would actually allow them to kind of get over the top, right? Like, what did they do different this year? And yeah, you got guys like Jared Vanderbilt, and you got guys like Jackson Hayes, who's really developed, right? But is that enough to get over the top, right? And I think Jeanie Buss makes a really good point there. On top of that, most of us would agree that the Luka Doncic trade really impacts the Lakers. The Lakers today look so much better than they looked 7-8 weeks ago, right? The Lakers today look like a team that's the hottest team in the NBA. And to me, that trade, Luka for Anthony, of course, you had to give up a little bit more than just that straight up. That trade, to me, really puts the Lakers on a good path, not only for this season, but for seasons forward, right? Luka just turned 26 a couple days back. To me, a very, very solid trade for the Lakers, obviously. But it is interesting, nonetheless, that Anthony Davis apparently was not happy with his role. Again, understandably so. Now, with that being stated, let's go ahead and jump forward. Shams Charania was on the Pat McAfee show where he talked a little bit about the trade. He talked a little bit about the Mavericks and kind of their approach to the trade. And in that, he also talked about Luka. I'm going to let you guys listen to this, and then we'll talk about this on the other side.
The fact that that's even a conspiracy out there just lets you know how deeply extreme that trade was in the eyes of a lot of people around the league, literally everyone in Dallas. I mean, you think about the Mavs and their fan base. Luka Doncic, a generational player, 25 years old, just turned 26. He's someone, the 77 jersey is going to be all over Dallas forever. He was someone Mark Cuban said once, I would rather get a divorce than to trade Luka Doncic. I wanted to retire Luka Doncic's jersey. And I know in talking to people on Luka Doncic over the last 72 hours, I was at that Lakers-Clippers game on Sunday. He had no intention ever of leaving Dallas. He had just bought a new home in Dallas, for a lofty price. He did not want to go anywhere. You think of a player coming from abroad, they're very committed, they're loyal, and that's how he viewed himself with the Mavericks. It's like one team, one city forever. And I think that's going to carry over to the Lakers. I think he's loving his time in LA. I think he's loving how the Lakers, you think about what the Lakers brand is, it's like treating stars like stars. It's Hollywood. It's making the star players bigger than life, and that's what we're gonna see with Luka Doncic. But
so there you guys have it, right? Luka basically was 100% committed to the Dallas Mavericks, right? He had no intentions of leaving Dallas. Luka apparently was a one team, one city forever type of person. he didn't want to go anywhere, right? And we have already heard, the reports that Luka had just bought a massive house right before the trade, right? Like, I think it was like within like a 2-week period of when he bought that house. So not only did he buy this massive house, but Luka was 100% committed to the Mavericks, and the Mavericks were not committed to Luka. And now we're hearing that Luka still has that same mindset, though, right? Luka still has that same mindset that's going to carry over to the Lakers, and there's a chance that Luka's with the Lakers for the rest of his career, essentially, right? Sham said that I think he's loving the Lakers. He loves the Lakers brand. He loves how the Lakers treat their superstars. It's Hollywood, to me, I agree with exactly what Shams is saying. At the end of the day, the Lakers do take care of their players. And I think even long term, they're in a really, really solid spot, especially given some of the players that you do have, some of the pieces you do have. To me, the Lakers have like a solid 8-9-man rotation. Not every team has that, right? And, even once LeBron does eventually retire, right? 2, 3, 4 years down the line, whenever that ends up happening, you have guys like Dalton, Knecht, who you don't know what he's going to really develop into, right? He had a massive game just yesterday against the Pelicans. He's a very, very solid player today. As a rookie, his upside's through the roof. We don't really know what he'll end up being. And that's a piece you ultimately have, and that doesn't include some of the other guys, right? Like Dorian Finney-Smith's pretty solid. Gabe Vincent's pretty solid, and truth be told, Gabe Vincent could be a huge, huge trade piece if the Lakers decided to go down that route in the future. Trey Jameson's looked pretty good. Jackson Hayes has looked really solid. And I think that's another trade piece. If you really wanted to make a move like 2, 3, 4 years down the line post LeBron, these are guys that you could ultimately trade. And some of these guys aren't going to be back with the Lakers. Lakers will have some salary cap issues as they pay Luka, which according to Shams, it may actually end up happening sooner rather than later based off of what Luka, based off of the mindset that Luka has. So we'll see what ends up happening, right? I'm excited to really see what this Lakers team can kind of do this year. And as they kind of go into this offseason, they'll make some adjustments, right? They might add another center, right? Maybe they add a power forward. To me, one of the things that gets overlooked is how good Jackson Hayes has become this year. Jackson Hayes has really, really, really developed. And Jackson Hayes has become, arguably the most important piece for the Lakers outside of the top 4 guys that they have, right? Outside the top 4 guys, I think Jackson Hayes is arguably the most important piece because without Jackson Hayes, you have no shot against the Nuggets. So we'll see what ends up happening as we kind of go forward. Really, really like what Jackson Hayes has kind of developed into. I also want to talk about a statement that Jared Vanderbilt he made. It was after the game against the Pelicans yesterday. I want to talk about one thing he said, and I almost feel like some people overlooked this. So within this statement, he had a very, very interesting thing to say. Jared Vanderbilt said that I love it, talking about the Lakers. That's the culture we're trying to set, right? Having multiple dogs, multiple gritty guys that's going to go out there and put their body on the line, fight, play hard, defend, and do all the dirty work. Having guys like Trey by my side, Doe, and even Gabe from that second unit coming in and just being dogs. Jared Vanderbilt is putting it out there, right? That dog mentality, right? That's the tone the Lakers are going to ultimately set. Trey Jameson, this is something very, very similar to that like 2-3 days ago where he was talking about, we're literally gonna go out there and fight, right? The fact that even Luka yesterday backed up Dalton Knecht, who ended up taking a big shot on a layup. Luka backs up Dalton Knecht. You get Trey Jameson run right down there and kind of get into it. Jared Vanderbilt kind of gets into it, backing up Dalton Knecht, the rookie. That mindset that the Lakers have, you can't fake that mindset. Like you can't pretend that you have that mindset. You have to go out there and show it. And Jared Vanderbilt's right. The Lakers have a legit dog mentality. And again, he's saying that he loves the fact that it's not just him that has that mentality. It's Dorian Finney-Smith, it's Trey Jemison, it's Gabe Vincent. Right? These guys come out there and they have that mindset, they have that attitude, and these guys back it up as well. Gabe Vincent's a solid potential starter on a lot of teams in the NBA, right? But he's like a solid rotation, solid role player, right? He's a number 3 guy on a good basketball team. And for the Lakers, I don't even really know what his role is, right? If given Austin Reeves is healthy, given Luka's obviously healthy, and Rui and all the other guys, like how much does Gabe Vincent actually play in that instance, right? And this is the guy that's like your 6th guy that's coming off the bench, right? I mean, maybe even beyond, like probably like 7th, 8th option, realistically, right? But he brings that dog mentality. Dorian Finney-Smith brings that dog mentality, and those guys definitely do. But really, it's Trey Jemison, it's Jared Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt gets out there and he backs it up, right? And we've seen his defense. I spoke a little bit about it in a film breakdown that I did a couple days back. Jared Vanderbilt brings that defensive dog mentality. He backs it up, right? We saw him go up against James Harden and Kawhi Leonard just a couple days ago. A really, really good job. To me, what the Lakers have right now with these dogs, with these guys that are starting to hustle a little bit and kind of do the dirty work, to me, the Lakers are in a really, really good spot, and we'll see how it kind of develops as we go forward. I want to go ahead and just wrap this video up, and I want to talk a little bit about the game from yesterday, right? So the Lakers pretty much blew out the New Orleans Pelicans, right? Like, it was not close, in my opinion. Jackson Hayes had 19 points yesterday, had a phenomenal game, because it wasn't just the 19 points that he had, right? It was the 10 rebounds, 3 being on the offensive side. It was all the shots that he defended, right? He goes up there, he gets physical when guys drive, and he tries blocking shots. But it wasn't just Jackson Hayes. LeBron had 34 yesterday. Luka had arguably his best game of his career with the Lakers. 30 points, 15 assists, 8 rebounds. Across the board, the Lakers have had multiple guys kind of step up. And I think what we've seen with the Lakers is a team that's going to be hard to beat. When Trey Jemison can come off the sideline, play 17 minutes, and that too, like, it's a productive 17 minutes, right? He had like 4 or 5 points yesterday for the Lakers, multiple rebounds, he had some assists. He comes in there, plays defense, shows that physicality, right? That dog mentality, as Jared Vanderbilt calls it. When Dalton Knecht comes in and has 13 points, right? When Knecht comes in and hits multiple threes. You know what the interesting thing that I noticed watching yesterday's game was, there was a moment in the first quarter when I think the Lakers got up like 13 to like 5 or something like that. The New Orleans Pelicans started to come back, and at some point the score was like 16 to 13, right? They went on a short little run in the first quarter. And then out of nowhere, Luka hits 3 back-to-back three-pointers. He starts dancing. The Lakers go on this little run. Knecht hit a 3 in between that. At some point, right? I think he hit a 3 right after Luka hit his 3-pointers. Then I think it was Gabe Vincent that hit a 3. Right? These guys come in and start scoring threes. And, the Lakers just went on this crazy run in that first quarter. And from that point, the game was over. Right? The Pelicans never got close after that. The Lakers take a 8-point lead, a 12-point lead, a 15-point lead, 20-point lead. And it's just impressive the way they do it. LeBron James and Luka, although they obviously play together, there's a big stretch from the second to third quarter where these guys aren't playing together. Right? LeBron comes off and Luka stays in, and Luka plays, 7-8 minutes without LeBron. LeBron comes in, Luka comes out. LeBron plays 7-8 minutes without Luka. And we don't even know what the rotation's really going to be like in a couple weeks, because we haven't seen Austin Reeves at this point. We haven't seen Rui Hachimura at this point, and how they're going to kind of fit into that rotation. But what we do know is that the Los Angeles Lakers have a bunch of guys super, super deep. When Shake Milton can come in and drop 12 points, Lakers are going to be hard to beat this year, man. I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. A lot of you guys enjoyed the film breakdown that I did the other day. I definitely plan to do another film breakdown. I think 1 film breakdown per week is probably good. I did want to do a Luka film breakdown because he did have 15 assists. The guy was an absolute monster out there with the, controlling the ball and creating for some of those other guys to kind of get open. But we'll wait on that, man. We'll definitely wait on that. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.